I've come from, where my family life wasn't the greatest. I didn't have a lot of close friends around me. I didn't really have a lot of people that understood how I would be, especially coming from like a Fijian Indian community and an Indian family, and then being in Australia. It's so hard to actually fit in and be in a position where you just need some clarity in your life, and journaling has done that for me. I have journaled until I was like 15 years old, and I remember the first time I was journaling, I was literally writing in a diary. And in the diary, it was like, "Dear diary, I had this happen to me today. I hate this person. I don't understand why this person has done this to me. I don't understand why this has done this to me." And I realize now that all that journaling was to process everything that was actually happening in my life at that time. And let me tell you, it wasn't the prettiest. It's a little dog, Poochie. Hi, Poochie. How you doing? You doing good? Yeah, okay. Like, look at this. This is 2018, the 1st of the 1st in 2018. And I don't know why I would write the dates on the journals. I think maybe because I knew I would talk about them in my later lives. This is my scrapbook that I've made when I was possibly, when 2017, I was about 17 years old. I'm 24 now. And and I literally, again, write the dates. And here you go, 17th or 16th Sunday, doesn't really have the date on there, but 24th, Friday, it could have been February or January. Stuff like this, I would always put on the date, October 2017. I've always journaled on the ground right now, but this one is the one that I have been, I guess, this one was my visualization book, because when I was 15 years old, I wrote in this book what I wanted my life to be at that time. And it was 5th Jan in 2016. And I'll see if I can put this in focus. Maybe you can see it, 5th of January 2016, where I literally wrote what I wanted to do with my life and how I wanted my life to be and where I wanted to live and how I wanted a little dog and be in an apartment living the best life I could live. And the only reason why I used to do this is so I can allow myself to visualize and be in the energy that I want to be in, to achieve the things that I wanted to achieve in the future. If you do want to start journaling, I guess the first few things that I would do if I had to go back and tell my younger self, how can I get more clarity in my journaling instead of making it as a vent book, because it's not the nicest to read, is that one, you have to ask yourself, or I would ask myself, who am I and what do I want? What do I love doing? What do I visualize myself being in the future? And how do I see my life every day? And that would allow me to get more clarity as to how to work towards those goals. Because I'll be honest with you, in those books, I decided that I didn't want to be an office worker. I decided that I didn't want to be chained to a 9-to-5 role or be controlled by an employer. I was always in the mindset of traveling, and I've always wanted to be that free-spirited person where I could inspire, I could create, I can be creative and put myself out there. And I wrote that in the books, and the thing with that is there wasn't a lot of clarity behind it. And if I show you what I've written in the books, it's kind of like, it's very loud and very daunting, because that's not what a journal is supposed to be for you. It's mainly meant to be something that is allowing you to have more clarity in your life. And I know that maybe right now I don't want to be in this position anymore, but I have to really be grateful that I have been in a position right now that I've wished for when I was 15 years old. And because of that, you tend to forget. Like, I forgot how I actually wanted to be in this position and how I wanted to be free and have my own apartment, have my own independence, and not actually be controlled anymore. And because of that, I just realized that you actually have to be grateful for what you have, but also visualize what you want in your future and work towards that. Otherwise, if you're not, I guess, creating, you're disintegrating. And in my eyes, I've always journaled and I've always done those things. So it's something that has become so traditional or ritual for me, if that's the word. And coming from where I've come from, where my family life wasn't the greatest, I didn't have a lot of close friends around me, I didn't really have a lot of people that understood how I would be, especially coming from like a Fijian Indian community and an Indian family, and then being in Australia, it's so hard to actually fit in and be in a position where you just need some clarity in your life. And journaling has done that for me. And it's allowed me to actually not even realize how I got here, but connect the dots and realize that, oh, wow, I didn't know how to get here, but I got here somehow because I just journaled about it. And I do want to talk about how you can start journaling in a moment, but I just want to let you know that it actually doesn't have to be so draining or so time consuming that you have to journal every single day. No, it's not like that. It's kind of like you journal, but in a sense of more clarity. You journal because you want to journal. You journal because you actually feel inspired, or you journal because you actually don't really know how to pinpoint your feelings. And this is what we learn in coaching, or learn in therapy, and learn in psychology and counseling, is that you write it down and you actually start to pinpoint what your emotions are and why you feel that way behind those emotions. We have this thing called the emotion wheel, so you can actually identify what your emotions are instead of feeling numb to it. It is my first video. I guess I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to be so creative. I always wanted to put myself out there, and I think this is my year that I start being on this platform. I have been on TikTok and I have been on Instagram for quite some time now, and I guess I wanted to widen my exploration with platforms and see how I go with everything. So if you like this, then please give me your support, or otherwise comment down below and give me some feedback. I'd love that. Thank you so much.